Welcome to Imaginary Ramblings. I'm Matt,
And I'm Ben.
and this is episode 117. Sam always owns a bar.
Shit.
We're going to be talking about the Hulu Into the Dark film Blood Moon, which will close out season 2. We're not sure if there will be a season 3, so this may be the end.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too. Then we'll also be talking about what we've been into. And lastly, we'll be doing another tuning in or tuning out.
I'm excited for it.
Oh, yeah. And before all of that, Benjamin,
Yes, sir.
what have you been into?
Oh, Boise. It's unfortunately been the same old, man. Although there is a little bit of something new. I finally got me some hiking in preparation to our trip in June.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go?
It went really well. We did a solid 10 miles at Cooper's Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I still felt pretty good afterwards, so that's the important part, right?
Well, that's good, because next time when we're hiking for real, you'll be carrying 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah, right. So,
We got
so
that to look forward to.
yeah, all in preparation. Um, though that hike the other day, so felt good.
Yeah.
And I've been collecting and putting together and buying gear that I will need, so I'm pretty happy with everything.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We actually ended up getting the same brand of backpack.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, that was totally unplanned as well.
Yeah, you just got the larger version.
Yeah, that's what they had at the store I was at, so
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'll go with this one.
Yeah. Now you'll be more prepared for our future longer expeditions.
That's true. Well, that's why I say, like, even though it can get expensive, a lot of the stuff is like to last,
Mm-hmm.
like so. So there's nothing wrong with spending a little extra on something that you're going to use for basically, your lifetime.
The foreseeable future, yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got the 55 liter, you got the 75 liter.
Mhm.
Um, what color did you get? Mine's orange.
Mine's blue.
Aww. Are you gonna get
Mhm.
everything else in blue?
Nah, everything else I've been getting has been a variety of colors.
Yeah, see, I was getting a different one, and then I
Mhm.
was like, and that one was actually 75 liters, and I was like, well, um, that one winter hike I was reading about, they only used a 45 liter, so um, surely I don't need a 75 for an early summer hike,
Oh yeah.
because like obviously I'll be using a thinner sleeping bag, I'll have
Mhm.
thinner
Mhm.
clothing that I'll be packing with me, and so I was like, all right, so uh what's like the next size down? That was 65. I was like, that's still a little big. So looked at 55s, but they didn't have 55 in the one I was looking at.
Oh,
And so that's
uh-huh.
when I found the Teton, and it had like 20 different colors. And I was like, ooh,
Oh
orange.
yeah.
I've already got a
Yeah.
bunch of orange stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
So, so I'll be very orange during
Yeah.
our hiking trip.
Right. Although I will say with the size, it's not so much the weather that you're going into, it's more like how long you're gonna stay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I know. I just was looking more at the when I was thinking about like that in the sense of like uh they have thicker clothing, and that's obviously
oh,
like
mhm.
if you're carrying thicker clothing, you have your change of clothes and stuff, and that's going to take up more
Oh yeah,
volume.
absolutely.
But obviously
Right.
food is going to be one of the main food and water are going to be two of your main volume
Oh yeah.
items after your tent and your mat, because my tent and my mat do take up a large chunk. Of course, I'm
Yeah.
bringing a 2-person tent for us,
Right.
so so usually each person like carries their own tent. But I was like, I'm not gonna buy another tent for a weekend camping trip yet.
Yeah. I
Maybe
actually
we'll.
don't own a tent.
Yeah.
So I have been thinking about maybe even trying out the whole hammock sleeping, at least one night.
Yeah, I did see your whole hammock situation on your gear list,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, now Ben's gonna be making me pick the perfect location with the perfect tree set up. Ugh.
Nah,
Bro.
nah. I'll be able to. I'll have straps long enough that it shouldn't be too bad.
I know, I'm just picking. I did read that because we're going to be hiking Dalisades. I did read that the campsites themselves can get packed really quickly.
Yeah.
So one thing we might not that all that means really is we might not be able to have a fire.
Right.
Which is why we're packing a camp stove.
Although I do have fire making tools as well.
Yeah, I got my survival flint and steel with cotton in a vacuum seal. Not really a vacuum seal. It's just in a watertight seal. But
yeah.
yeah. I got, and it has a rape whistle with it.
Oh,
distress
good.
Whistle.
Yeah, I did buy some bear spray.
Yeah,
too.
I saw that. I was like, hey, you know what? We probably need it. I don't know how many bears there are in Dalisades, but it's supposed to be wilderness, so there should be a few.
Can I tell you what one of the funny warnings on it is though?
Don't spray yourself.
No, well, there is that, but it's also like, do not go looking for bears. It's just like, holy
sad,
shit.
but that's definitely something I'm sure people have
Well,
done.
yeah, and like that's the thing. It's like I get why they have to put it on there, but like, what dumb shit is going out there? Like, dude, I got this bear spray. I can't wait to go fight me a bear with this.
Yeah.
Like idiot.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I don't know. Let's see what else. What else do we have with the camping trip? We've got I don't know. We talked about our hiking boots a while ago.
Oh yeah.
That was the first thing we got because you got to break those in the longest.
That's true. Although I'll tell you what, this pair that I have, I mean, they are so comfy. I feel like they were pretty much ready to go almost from day one. You know?
Yeah, I think it's more of an issue of finding out if they're good.
Yes. I agree with that.
Because I the same thing was true for me. Like mine, from day one, they've not been uncomfortable, but but you know, there's always the risk that you buy a brand new pair and they're super stiff and
oh yeah, absolutely,
and too rough to wear. But yeah, how many more days left? I know you gave a day countdown last the episode I just put out this morning.
Oh, you mean till graduation? So I actually put it on my phone. It's 1 month, 7 days, 11 hours.
Ooh. Is that a 31-day month then?
Yeah. I think. Or well, I don't know.
So is it
I don't
38
know exactly.
days or is it 37 days is the question.
Yeah, I think. Well, I guess it would be whatever next month is, right? So
we don't have 7 days left in
yeah, we've only got
in March.
2.
We only have March is a 31-day month. I don't remember what April is.
April's a 30-day month.
Yeah, so I guess it's probably 31 then.
Yeah, or
since we still have a couple of days left in this month.
Yeah. March is a 31-day month. No. So we've got 2 days left here, and then April's got 30. So there's what's that? 32 plus the 7. Because that's when I actually graduate. So
gotcha.
39 days.
39 days. Oh yeah, boy.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this countdown app that I got because it also breaks down seconds, but like I think the seconds must be till the next hour, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's like, so right now my phone says 1 month, 7 days, 11 hours, and 2,750 seconds, and then obviously it's.
Oh yeah, since it's not since it skipped minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing how many seconds are in the hour. That is weird. Why did it skip minutes? Of all the things to skip.
Yeah.
That's such an odd thing to skip.
Right. I thought so too. Like, wait.
whatever floats the programmer's boat, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, anytime I want to know how many days till something, I just go Google how many days till this day, and Google will tell me.
Yeah,
That's usually what I do because
that's probably the
I'm
easiest way to
a
do it.
lazy Google whore.
Hey, that's alright.
Um, I'm a shill, I guess, would be more accurate.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because I'm whoring myself for the. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's a whore, kind of. I don't know. I'm getting services for free by giving them my information. I don't know what that equates to.
Yeah.
A sucker.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to go camping on Thursday with my son, or Wednesday with my son,
Oh, where
but
you gonna go?
well, I don't know if we're still going because now it's saying that it's going to be snowing.
Oh yeah, I did. I did hear that Thursday is calling for snow.
And it's like I don't know. I can't decide. I kind of want to go. I just don't know if it's pushing him too far because he's 6.
Yeah.
You know, like I know I would be fine. You know,
Right.
but that's a
Where you go?
big comfort swing for a 6-year-old to go through.
Were you gonna go somewhere, or was this like backyard camping?
No, we were going to. So I can never remember what it's called. Um, Chestnut Ridge Regional Park. It's in Brewston Mills. It's near Cooper's Rock. But they have ponds with fishing. So if you get a camping spot, you can fish,
Oh,
and
cool.
you don't need like licenses because it's private property. Um,
Is that what you guys are gonna do?
yeah, so we were planning on fishing and camping, and so I don't know. I think we're still going to try it, and then if it just ends up being too rough, we might just drive home in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could always like backyard camp too.
Yeah, but
It's
you
not
can't
quite the
fish if
same.
you're backyard camping.
Well, yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm hoping for somehow the weather to swing, but it's only like 2 days away now, so
Yeah, so
it's
chances
becoming
are.
it's already past the point of like near perfect accuracy, pretty much.
Mhm.
Uh, because like every hour you get closer, they get more and more accurate.
Right, right.
Um, but yeah, so that's supposed to be my uh, midweek plans
Ah,
with the Loch Ness. So we'll see what that actually turns out to be.
yeah. Well, hopefully something works out.
Yeah, hopefully. But in but yeah, we're I think that it's really funny. So like the episode I just put out this morning was the one we recorded the Friday before last.
Mhm.
And it was supposed to go out that Monday or Wednesday, somewhere in that window.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't get it out till this Monday. So
Yeah.
it's really funny that so basically a week and 3 days ago, so like 10 days ago,
Uh-huh.
we got pre-approved for our mortgage, and
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
now we're already in the process of closing.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's
Yes, it's
that's
quite
really
exciting. Which is why the the episode didn't get out on time because we've
That's all
been
right. I mean,
we've
you
been
had
very busy. There's just a lot going on. Locke got
yeah.
exposed to COVID-19
Oh no, did he?
at school. Yeah, so
Oh.
he had to miss Thursday and Friday of school
Oh
while
no.
his because Wednesday we took him to get a test. His results came back on Saturday. He was negative, so he's
Oh,
able to go back to school on Monday.
yeah.
It was a whole to do. He was apparently so it was. I really don't know what the correct answer in these situations are.
Uh-huh.
So like the student was last in school
Mhm.
on Thursday, the one that exposed Locke. was
Okay.
last in school on the Thursday. So like that was the day before we got pre-approved,
Oh,
basically.
okay, okay.
Then on Monday, the school found out that the child had COVID-19 and reported it to the state with the list of all the students that were exposed.
Mhm.
And then the school left it at that. So Locke was at school on Monday and Tuesday.
Oh,
But the
okay.
school knew that the Locke should not be at the school on Tuesday.
Oh
But they
shit.
didn't keep him from going, and they didn't tell us. We didn't find out till the state called us at like 5 p.m. on Tuesday to tell us that he should be quarantining, and we're like, what?
Yeah, excuse me?
Yeah, and so yeah, it's just like, I don't know. And then of course the state, because the state, they're looking at it like the way doctors look at it, and they're like, your child should have been quarantining since Thursday last week. And it's like, what? Yeah. So like they're not telling us the school just told him on Monday. They're telling us when he should have started quarantining. It's like,
yeah, right.
But the school didn't know he should have been quarantining on Thursday because they didn't even know the student had COVID-19 on Thursday.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
just like it's such a confusing thing, but we got it sorted out. But we had that stress on top of, we were placing an offer on a house, and
oh jeez, yeah.
And we juggled it all, and we got it all, and now we're working on closing, and hopefully we can juggle that too.
Yeah.
So far it's been going off without a hitch, but
awesome.
That's where the hitches fall. This is when
well, usually,
hitched
yeah.
Yet.
Right.
But that's what I've been into. Busy, crazy life of mine. But you know what? We've got a really good. I think it's a really good film. We got a really good film to talk about here. So we don't have a jingle for Hulu Into the Dark, and I figured at the point where I started doing jingles again, which was only since we've been doing the good, the bad, and the campy. At that point, we were already at the end of Hulu Into the Dark, so I was like,
true.
well, there's no point in making jingles because we don't even know if it's going to be renewed. So
here
we are, Blood Moon.
Here we are. It did get renewed.
we don't know.
Not renewed, but it got
yeah, it got those final 2 episodes that we were promised a year ago.
Right.
Almost 2 years ago, actually.
God, yeah.
Because it was fall of 2019 that this season started.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, yeah, Blood Moon is the final installment of season 2. Hopefully there's a season 3. We will find out. It's directed by Emma Tammy, who also did Delivered, which, if I remember correctly, we liked Delivered pretty well.
Yeah, we did.
And that was the one where the mother was held hostage by that crazy woman. Well, we did have some issues where the all the characters just died so easy.
Yeah.
That was our big issue.
Right.
So I have to go into the reason behind the name of the episode, which no one's ever going to make this connection, and that's bad episode naming. But I just couldn't help myself because it's one of the things that kept cracking me up.
Okay.
Did you watch True Blood?
Yeah, a little bit. I never watched it intently because I didn't have HBO for a while.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the Sam in this movie looked like the Sam from True Blood, and they both owned a bar, so that's why I called it Sam Always Owns a Bar.
Oh, that's funny.
And of course, the Sam in True Blood was a shapeshifter. He was not a werewolf, but he could turn into a dog.
A skinwalker.
Yeah, skinwalker. I don't know what they called him in True Blood. I don't remember, but anyway. But yeah, so it was just kind of funny to me that a show about vampires and werewolves had a character named Sam who owned a bar, and then we're watching a movie about a werewolf with a character named Sam that owns the bar. I have to think it's an homage, especially with how much he looks like Sam from True Blood.
Yeah, it's gotta be, right?
Yeah. His name was probably like Bob, but when they cast Joshua Dove, who played Sam, they were like, Dov, you look
They're like,
like Sam from True Blood, so
they're
we're
like, oh,
changing your
never
character's
mind.
name
Yeah,
to Sam. I don't know how that conversation went, but that's
it probably
what
went something
I'm
like that.
saying.
Yeah, that was probably close.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think we should talk about first on this one? There's a lot of really good stuff, and I don't want to
Yeah.
I don't want to do a blow by blow. I'm trying to get away from that format of reviewing because it's not very enjoyable. I don't think.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I guess we can talk about how good the special effects were, because I was pretty impressed with them, honestly.
Well, it's because they used them so sparingly, really.
Yeah, and I think like there's definitely a fine line between not giving us enough, I think, and giving
Mm-hmm.
us too much. And I think this movie really kind of did um, ride that line pretty well. The only somewhat of an issue I could see a little bit is this movie definitely was more of a slow burn, and that doesn't always hold my attention super well, if we're being honest.
Oh yeah, I could tell you. I could tell you a lot of horror people didn't like it very much.
Yeah.
Here's uh the first IMDb review I see says boring nonsensical drama passed off as a horror movie.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I can kind of see where they're coming from. Um, because it does kind of focus a lot more on like mom's relationship with
Mm-hmm.
certain people and things and stuff. And
Uh,
some of that did seem a little drawn out more than it could have been, maybe,
yeah.
or should have been.
Um. Yeah. So I guess um the like the elevator pitch for this movie is it's a story about a single mother raising a lycanthrope.
Yeah,
Um,
and single mother is not a lycanthrope.
no, she's not. So dad was the lycanthrope. Apparently, this is more of a passed on genetically, not passed on through
Bitiness.
bitiness. Yeah, because I don't know if you noticed this, but I feel like and maybe I misinterpreted it, but didn't the back of her shirt have like a big gash in it, and it was bloody in the opening scene with the like the baby werewolf and the dead
Oh
body?
yeah, I think it might have been.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was supposed to be she got attacked or if it was just blood from the attack in general. I don't know what that was,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was um I assumed it meant that he had attacked her and she didn't get infected, so I don't know
Right.
though. But yeah, so basically the that's that's your whole plot is he's like 11, 12. He's supposed to be starting middle
Something.
school, so
Yeah.
I guess that's like 11, 12. I think. um and so he's been homeschooled this whole time from the point where she killed his you'll find out he killed his dad. She killed his dad, I mean, because he broke free one night. And so they've been running ever since, and she's been raising this little baby werewolf by herself. And of course, they named him Luna, which I think is kind of like rude,
Uh,
right?
that was. I thought that was so cliche. Like that's one thing I was a little bit upset about, but then it was like, but you know what? Motherfuckers would do that. Like
Motherfuckers are
like I was
yeah,
mad at it, and then I was like, whoa, wait, no, people like I work at a hospital, and I've heard some people's names,
yeah.
and it's like no, it kind of reminds me of that. Like I've seen posts on like Facebook or whatever other social medias about like I want to apologize to every movie character I ever saw in like a horror movie that went into the basement when they know they shouldn't have. It's like because I've seen dumb motherfuckers doing exactly that during this pandemic. So so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, what I don't remember what the dad's name was. Maybe it was probably
Did we ever even really hear it? I don't remember if we did.
I don't know. Let's
'Cause they
see.
definitely played him up as the kind of like suave, mysterious
Oh,
kind of
it was
character.
Joseph, I think.
Oh, okay. That's not very
Yeah.
mysterious.
No. Yeah, I think it was Joseph. Let me load up this guy, Jack Yang. Yep, that was Joseph. Yeah, so his name was Joseph. I was gonna say, watch his name be like Moon in another language.
Oh my god, right?
But it was not. It was Joseph, which is of course Moon in Gaelic. Anyway, but so if we're gonna talk about her backstory, basically she meets Joseph in a bar. He's a bartender. He gets
she's a high profile lawyer, apparently.
Yeah, she's a high profile lawyer. He gets her pregnant, and then he's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm a werewolf." And,
yeah.
And she's like, "Oh crap!" And your baby's going to be a werewolf too. And so, then at some point they propose, and then at some point she has to kill him and run away with the baby, because she killed her husband, her fiance.
Honestly, that is pretty fucking. I would imagine bad, like, I don't know, ethical standards if you know you're gonna willingly pass on lycanthropy.
Yeah.
And wrap that shit up, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in all honesty, I don't know if she knew or not yet.
No, I'm saying him though. He must have known.
No, I mean, I don't know if she knew or not. So she might have already known, and she was just like poking holes in the condoms, trying to get a rare baby. I don't know.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I'm just being an asshole. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing is we go from last week's episode, which I haven't put out yet. It'll come out on Wednesday, I hope. Which was awful amounts of misogyny.
Yeah.
To this movie, which is like about single moms.
Yeah.
Kicking butt, taking names, kinda. I think it did it pretty well at the beginning. Kinda, it showed her like getting overwhelmed and stuff, but it was like, it still like had you respecting her, and then like towards the end when everything's unraveling, she kind of has to get saved by a man. So I don't know if that like continues the message, but at the same time, like I don't even know why she needed saved by him, which that part was kind of confusing.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that.
I guess he maybe got her truck for her.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's all I could think of, because obviously like the cops aren't going to like drive her truck over if they're planning on sending her to prison.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, obviously she's raising a werewolf. Eventually he gets free, which that ends up not being the incident that causes bad stuff. It just kind of gets the police on high alert because he kills a bunch of livestock.
Yeah.
And then she kills poor Sam, which is, let's get into Sam, the bar owner, because Sam always owns a bar.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna put Sam into a show with werewolves, he's got to own a bar.
He did do the creepy thing though, of like, I'm gonna drop off her check, and I'm gonna see if she wants to go to dinner with me. It's like, it seems
yeah.
Like
so it's really interesting because it was directed by like Emma Tammy, like we said. She did Delivered, but it was written by Adam and Simon, which I can only assume are both identifying as male, and they and obviously like they didn't really like. I don't know. I felt Sam was a little pushy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
Like I don't, and maybe it's just because it did the movie did take place over like um, half a year at least.
Yeah.
So maybe we were just seeing a
Oh yeah,
handful of
yeah.
moments that took place over 6 months, and so it
Right.
made him seem really pushy.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
but it was actually like kind of more drawn out. So I guess we can say that in his defense. But yeah, he did seem pretty pushy. Um, they never do. So if we're just gonna, so basically, like the whole movie, there's this older guy that really respects um, Esma. That's the mother, because she's raising Luna by herself, and he's always trying to involve Luna. He's got a granddaughter that he wants Luna to be friends with. He wants Luna to go to her school and stuff like that. But Esma won't let any of that happen. And then Miguel, of course, is trying to hook Esma up with Sam. He's like, Sam's a real good guy. You could do worse. I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
And Miguel's like the hardware store owner that she bought all the hardware to build the werewolf cage with.
Yeah.
And he like didn't question it at all, really, which was like super weird. But
yeah, because you would think that would be just a little on the suspicious side.
Yeah, especially after the fact that he like goes there a couple more times after that trip, and she still hasn't built a chicken coop, which is what she told him it was for.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Really? That could hold lion. That could hold some lions." But yeah, I think, yeah, it was basically all just trying to like build up, like, is her and Sam gonna like get together? Is she gonna have a normal life? It was, and like you said, it was a really slow burn movie. It was like just like only a few instances of panic, and then most of it's just kind of like sitting in it.
Yeah. So sometimes I find those movies to be a little on the boring side. Like, I appreciate what they're doing, but it's still like, I'm a little bored.
I'm a little bit bored. Yeah. But yeah, so it's definitely, I wouldn't call it a horror movie, other than, I guess, the last 10 minutes. I would call it a suspense.
Yeah, maybe a thriller.
Yeah, not a thriller, just suspense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I really liked it. I thought they did a good job of like showing the relationship and the sacrifices and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's not like, other than the subject matter being slightly different than other forms of this movie we've seen before, it's not like it's anything. It's not like it's anything like out of that's never been done before, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's
right. I'd say probably my biggest complaint with this movie is it felt like there were a lot of like movie tropes that were being used, it felt like. So the movie felt kind of on the predictable side a lot of the time.
Oh yeah, you had the sheriff of the town being a womanizing dick that basically she turns him down in like one of the first nights on the job at the bar, because she of course has to work at the bar for Sam, which that's another movie trope where like the love interest has to work with the man has to be the love interest's boss, and then of course there's the womanizing dick of a sheriff that somehow like, that's always the thing that bothers me and stuff, is how do you have a not personable sheriff?
Yeah.
It's an elected position.
Right.
You can't go around like Big Dick being an asshole to everybody and get reelected. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people like that. Maybe that's the town's fetish, is
maybe
to be womanized by this middle-aged sheriff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he he makes inappropriate comment. It's something about like he'd go 12 rounds with her, which I didn't even really get his joke that he was trying to make, which maybe that was the point. And then she said something really mean that made everybody laugh at him, and then Sam was like, "That was the sheriff." And then you're like, "Oh shit, this is gonna come back to bite her in the ass." And of course,
right.
it does. There's another. So what other like tropes were you thinking of beyond those ones?
Mom locks little boy in the cage. Someone's gonna find him and let him out, and then he's gonna transform. Like that was another thing. Like it always seems like their solution is always put him in the cage in the basement, and there's always that guy who shows up and to find him, freak out obviously because they just see a little boy or whoever in a cage.
Yeah.
And then let them out, and it's always, now to be fair, I guess this movie didn't quite do it on the money like it do, but it almost seems like they let person out, person immediately transforms and is like go time.
Yeah, no, she does like put him in the cage really early, but I guess it shows in a couple scenes where like towards dusk he starts getting like really creepy.
Yeah.
Where he just like stares at me.
Right.
Luna, that is, not Sam.
Yeah. Well, and then if you have a freaking werewolf kid and you name him Luna, you're like, again,
you're asking for it.
Yeah. You're asking for trouble.
So here's how fucked up is it that like Luna just like lets Sam in the house? I didn't. Like that's like Esma's one rule for him is don't let anybody in the house. Like, and then Luna's just like, all right, I'm gonna let Sam in the house. Of course, Sam dies. Obvi.
Yeah.
Obvi. And so that was like the big thing is that the sheriff shows up because Sam never came back to work because the sheriff drinks at the bar every night, and so the sheriff can go looking for a missing person whenever the sheriff wants.
Yeah, basically.
The sheriff's an alcoholic. And so he proceeds to get in a fist fight with Esme. She tries to shoot his head off with a shotgun. And this is the funniest part to me. I love this part because when she tries to blast him with that shotgun, and then he arrests her. And she's like, "You can't search my place without a warrant." And I'm like, "Bitch, you just tried to shoot his head off. He can do whatever he wants at this point, pretty much."
Yeah.
Like that's probable cause and a half. Like, to keep you from entering the building, you tried to blow off said sheriff's head.
You're right. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. You're right though. It definitely would be like, oh yeah, guess what, bitch, you fucked up.
Yeah, but of course, I don't know. In an actual like court of law, it might be able to be thrown out. Just because like, depending on the state, you do have like, there are like some laws that kind of protect people, like to protect their property against like wrongful search.
Right.
So it would depend on, I think, state laws probably, but because I don't know, I don't know how far that reaches as far as like federal jurisdictions, because mostly that would fall under state, and even maybe even locale laws and statutes and stuff. But I don't know. I don't think. I think at that point she had already given up her rights when she pulled the shotgun on law enforcement.
I think they call that she had already screwed the pooch.
Yeah, basically. Then they find Sam dead, and they find Luna, and then Luna gets taken back to the police station, and they find out, they run Esma's prints, and they find out there's dead bodies all over the place, and feds are coming, and then Luna turns into a werewolf, eats everybody, and then, but not Esma, because surprise, he can smell her, and now he's a tame little puppy. Which, if that was gonna be the case, Why did it never happen before?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't know if it was like. So like that's so this is one of the things that annoys me in werewolf stuff. I
Mhm.
don't like werewolf stuff where they turn into wolves
Uh huh.
and then they're still like your monster werewolf.
Oh, uh huh.
Like I don't know. It just bothers me. I like if you're gonna turn into a wolf as a werewolf, I think you should behave like a wolf.
Yeah.
If you turn into a werewolf monster wolf, then yeah, go ahead and run around town and butcher everybody in town.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know. It just bothers me. I don't. That's just my own inner rules, I guess.
Yeah, no. I get where you're coming from though.
So like, yeah, obviously, like what I'm getting at is Luna when they finally did show us Luna as in wolf form, he just looked like a regular white
It's like a
wolf.
white wolf, yeah.
Um, and maybe a little large. I don't know,
Yeah, sure, maybe, yeah.
but yeah, he just looked like a regular wolf. And they did do a thing that I don't like in serious horror movies, where they
Mhm.
did the monster perspective,
Yeah, yeah, they did.
and I just don't like that in like serious stuff. I know they were trying to wait for the big reveal, or maybe they're just trying to save their budget. I don't know. Um, but yeah, they used the wolf perspective a lot in that final scene, and
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't like it very much.
No, I don't like that really either.
Um, yeah, I don't know what's the it was I enjoyed the movie, but it's not super original. It's not going to be something you've never seen before.
Right.
Um, and and it's really light on the horror. So if you'd rather um, something different, there's like a lot of movies that do this a similar subject that have much better horror aspects to them. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
um, you could play The Last of Us if you want, like a.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just kidding. Last of Us a, a paternal substitute and a girl, not a mother and a son.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like it is really just a lot of kind of like filler to set up for the end. There's not
Mhm.
like a lot of parts in the beginning that we can be like, oh, here was this, this part.
Yeah.
Obviously,
They did a lot of flashbacky stuff too.
there's the point where she finally admits to Luna that she killed his dad when he broke out, and that's the part where they set up, and of course they use that part to set up for the end where Luna actually doesn't attack her, because I think at one point when she says that, Luna says, "I wouldn't attack you." Um,
Yeah.
I think he says, or I hope I wouldn't attack you, or something like that.
Right.
I don't remember.
He even asked her like, it what if he got loose? Because that was part of the story of how she killed his dad. Was like
Yeah.
he got loose and I had to kill him basically because if I didn't, there wouldn't be anybody here to take care of you.
Yeah.
And he said something along the lines of like, well, if I got out, would you take care of me, basically?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so maybe here's the big twist,
Hmm.
which maybe they were even hinting at. Would Joseph have actually hurt her?
Yeah, I was wondering that too, because my guess is from almost like the way things had gone, no, right? I mean,
I don't know, because like Luna had already chowed down on like 10 cops by the
yeah,
time he
that's
made
true.
it to
Yeah,
Esma.
that's
He
true.
might have just been looking for some place for a nappy nap.
Yeah,
At that
that's
point,
true. He
whereas
could have been a little sleepy.
Joseph had broken out of his cage, so I don't know how much meat she'd given him that night. Because, so like I don't know if the implication is if she doesn't give him meat, he would break out or what. But she a big part of the movie is her trying to get meat to give to him, and of course the big reason at the finale for why everything goes to shit, like she ends up killing Sam, and of course Sam dying gets the sheriff involved, and of course then when the sheriff's involved, Luna gets put in the police station. But everything that led to that was because apparently, so my putting it together kind of situation is basically, so for most of the film she was stealing cattle.
Yeah.
And then like going out into a field, killing it, and then somehow loading it into her truck. I really don't know how she's loading a fucking cow into a truck by herself.
Well, how's she even stealing cattle? Because let's be honest, those fuckers are big and heavy.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what she was fucking doing.
There's no way she's stealing cattle by herself.
Yeah, well, she was stealing like whole cows, right?
I thought so. That's what it kind of looked like.
That's what it looked like to me. Okay, I didn't know if I missed something because I was editing the podcast while I was watching this. Yeah. I didn't know. But it looked like she was like, yeah, killing whole fucking cows. So like, I guess she's like fucking superhero. She should be like the Incredible Hulk or some shit. 'Cause she just picked up a whole fucking cow and put it in her truck bed.
Right.
Did she sneak the cows onto the truck bed and then killed them?
I don't see how that could have been possible either, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cows are big.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so like the whole movie is showing her kill the cows and then sneak them back to the house, and then when he breaks free, I guess is when they start having trouble getting meat, maybe because he goes and kills a bunch of sheep at somebody's farm, and so
yeah.
I'm guessing that's what got everybody's attentiveness up, that she couldn't kill the cows anymore.
I guess.
So she gets a bunch of meat from I'm guessing a bunch of dumpster meat, and so that's what draws Sam in the house, because the dumpster meat smells so bad. He's like, oh, you guys got a sewer problem, and he's like, I'll go fix it. And of course he goes straight to the basement.
Yeah.
Where he sees the cage, where he's like, what the fuck's this? And then he starts coming up the stairs, and then Esma hits him in the head, and he falls and dies on the stairs.
He gets bodied, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
They would have explained a little better what that extra meat was for, though.
Yeah, like, what's the point of the meat? Like, just, he's only a werewolf for one night.
Yeah.
That's like, it's not like he's like trapped in werewolf form for like 48 hours or something where he needs food. Right. Like, if you made the cage strong enough, just leave him in there. Because, like, I don't know, if the meat will keep him from going all killery, why do you need the cage? But if you have to have the cage, why do you need to give him the meat? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what they did in the movie. That's what happened.
Although now I wonder, from now on, at the end of the movie, does she put him in a cage anymore, or does she just let him do his thing?
Who knows? She should let him bite her and see if she can be a werewolf at this point.
Yeah.
Because, like, they could be just, like, murder she wrote in everywhere. Because, like, here's the thing. If she's a werewolf, unless they figure out how to kill her, because I heard a lot of gunfire happening.
Yeah.
That little boy didn't die, so I'm guessing they're like silver. They're silver only, just like a normal mythical werewolf. And
the whole police department's a shit shot.
I mean, maybe they are all shit shot. I don't know about that, or maybe they're just all blowing their brains out because they're like, I can't handle this shit.
Yeah.
He didn't kill any of them. They all just killed themselves.
Right. Well, here's the other thing too. If her husband, before he died, had this malady, I guess we could call it, why did she go to his family or his, area that he was from? Like, surely they would have been able to find something, some support system for people with this, right?
Well, you have to assume that it's one of those situations because they always I don't know, in most things they always try to make the werewolves like lone wolves,
Oh, well,
you
that's
know.
true.
So I'm kind of getting the idea that potentially there are werewolf hunters. Um,
I suppose, yeah.
if there's werewolves, there's almost always hunters because that's just how
Yeah.
like these kind of things work.
I'm just thinking again though, like this is clearly a because we've established it a born into trait. So you
Yeah,
have to, so like so his parents or one of them at least
yeah,
must have also been a werewolf.
lycanthrope.
Yeah. So like I don't know. I feel like there would be a whole family of werewolves in this situation, and like that seems like the better option to go to for this lady.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the what you're describing is a different movie.
Well, yeah.
I'm just picking. No, I agree. Obviously, like if he had any relatives, I think in order for this plot to work, we just have to assume that any relatives he had were murdered or
Dead
something.
or whatever, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just it's kind of I enjoyed it, but the more I talk about it, the more I talk myself out of liking it. So I guess we should probably get to let's
Yeah.
get to our review. How many full moons out of 10 do you give this?
I'll give it 7.
7.
Yeah.
Wow, you actually went higher than I was expecting.
Well, I mean, it was like the acting was pretty good, the special effects were pretty good.
Just because of the numerous plot holes we pointed out, especially while talking about it to each other.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Oh
Just
shit.
because like I don't know, I would say I liked it just as much as the last half of Bad Taste.
Oh yeah.
And I gave the last half of Bad Taste a 6. So there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so 6 full moons and 7 full moons.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite scene in this?
Honestly, it has to be when the kid finally became the werewolf and was like we got to see him at like when we finally got to see him and he was that pure white wolf. I liked that. Um, I would say though a close second would be the first time we saw the kid's eyes like flash a different color.
Yeah,
Like that was a really cool scene, I thought.
yeah,
But yeah, but like when the mom's in the prison cell and like I don't know, you're just feeling anxious because you know what's about to happen.
yeah, yeah.
Like I thought that whole like sequence of scenes was really well done and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think probably that scene, like what you're talking about. But I think if I'm gonna be a little bit more granular, it would be the part where she's like puts the gun down and she can't shoot him,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even though like he might just devour her in a
Tear
second.
her throat out or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty. I thought that was well acted. I thought
yeah.
she did a really good delivery of that part.
You know what though would have made this movie a little bit better, and I don't know if it would have done away with like maybe it would have been too short or whatever. But if they
Uh-huh.
had cut it like kind of like right there so that you didn't know if he attacked her or not,
Yeah,
that's the kind of ending I feel like horror movies like this need more than the like right off into the sunset.
yeah. You know what? That probably would have improved the ending. Is if like it just shows the gun clatter to the ground and then it kind of just cuts and it's like you don't know. And it
Yeah,
could be even like they do like an ambiguous like wolf noise, like you can't tell if it's like a chomp growl or if it's a
like
yeah
a
like you
happy
growl.
bark.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah. That would have been a. I mean, I don't know. I would have probably been annoyed that it didn't give me closure too at the
yeah.
same time, but
But I feel like that's how horror movies usually are, or should be at least.
that's not Hulu Into the Dark horror movies though.
Well, I know.
Hulu Into the Dark always gives you
I don't know.
pleasure almost.
After the movie, before this one, I don't know what to expect from Hulu Into the Dark. The amount of basically
I'm expecting
softcore porn we got last movie.
I'm expecting a sequel to Tentacles for one thing.
Yeah.
Because we got a Puka sequel and we didn't even need one of those.
Yeah, that was weird though, because that sequel wasn't even a sequel, really. It was a totally different movie.
It was a completely fucking different movie. It was pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. Puka Lives though was fun. You gotta say it was. You gotta admit it was really fun.
No, yeah. Both really were. It was just the fact that like, besides the main thing's name being the same name, like there's no connection between these two movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad that we got to finish the season, man.
I know. I really hope we get
one. I really am.
Yeah, because even when these movies aren't all that good, they're still fun to watch.
Yeah, you know what? I agree, and I'm gonna put out an internet petition that's gonna be signed by 2 people, i.e. you and me. And it's gonna say continue Hulu Into the Dark.
Save Into the Dark.
And we're gonna release it to the Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get into
tuning in or tuning out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what I tuned into? I already told you about it.
Huh.
Invincible.
Oh yeah.
Episodes 1 through 3 dropped on Friday.
Nice.
i.e. the 26th. That's also when Blood Moon dropped. So I had a lot of good stuff to watch that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read well past that point in the comic.
Oh,
So it was wild to see all that stuff go from being panels in a comic book to being like really well animated stuff.
Oh yeah.
It made I don't have you gotten to watch it at all yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah. Have you read the comic at all?
Mm-mm.
So I won't spoil it, but there's a part at the end of episode 1 that is horrendously gruesome. Like it was so like I think I've mentioned on the podcast, we don't really censor a lot for Locke.
Yeah.
And Liz first she happened to see it shared on Twitter because Locke was talking about it. So the first thing I'm going to say is Locke did not see that scene.
Okay.
I watched it before he got up, and then he got up in the middle of episode 2. When he came downstairs. So he saw he did see some stuff, but it wasn't this scene, which was just continuous nonstop gore basically for 5 minutes.
Oh jeez.
And so basically somebody on Twitter just shared that scene and was and Liz saw it and watched it because Locke was talking about watching the show, and then she was not happy.
Yeah, I bet not.
and it was and it was literally she watched the whole thing and she's like, ooh. It was just every 5 seconds she was just gasping and of course Locke's in bed with us while she's watching this, and I'm like, babe, don't let him see that. He didn't see this. And
right.
She's like, oh.
That's really funny.
I'm like, well, he hasn't seen it until you just let him watch half of it with you.
Right.
Yeah, but it was pretty grotesque.
You said that's on Prime, right?
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
Nice.
It was yeah, it was a lot harder to watch than it was to read because in read it's just like when you read it, it's just like in panels. It's not like
Yeah, right.
the
Like
full animation.
being actively acted out in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's still a cartoon, so it's a little bit easier to watch than if it was like live action. But
Sure, but still, even cartoons can get pretty tough to watch.
Yeah. I mean it's a well animated cartoon, so it's not
Nice.
It's rough.
Yeah. I started watching The Irregulars on Netflix. Have you seen that or heard about that?
I've heard about it, but I don't remember what. It's the superhero one, right?
So it's set in like Victorian era England, and it's basically like these kids are picked by basically Watson and Sherlock Holmes to like investigate the paranormal, which I thought is like kind of a cool thing on like it's like a cool take on the whole Sherlock Holmes stuff because it's like they're definitely out there trying to solve these mysteries and stuff, and like the one sister does have this like ability, it seems, to tap into like the supernatural world. So like it kind of takes away from like the very everything there's no magic in the world Sherlock Holmes to be like, yeah, magic is a thing and we just keep it super under wraps.
Yeah, I mean Avi, right?
Right. I will say it is a little on the teen drama-y side of young adult.
Yeah.
But like it's been pretty enjoyable though, I think.
Yeah.
I've only watched a couple episodes so far, but I've liked what I've seen so far.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I might check it out. I don't remember if but I do always enjoy like a good like paranormal show. Paranormal stuff's like fun. I like when it's kind of like borderline. Is it real? Is it not real? But then like all the main characters are like, oh yeah, it's 100% real.
Right. Yeah. And then kind of just to the side, one that I'm looking forward to, which we've got about 2 days now, is Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh yeah.
The 31st. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think we're watching it on Friday.
Yeah, I love me some big monster films, and when big monsters want to fight, I say let them go, let them fight.
I mean, as long as it's in a movie and not real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited to see like how they like. That's what's so funny about I just love how they've taken this Kong universe and this Godzilla universe, and they've turned this into this like hugely deep mythos of like these gods that protected the planet, and then they went to sleep, and now they're like almost like Cthulhu gods, but they're not.
Right. Yeah.
Like they've been in hibernation for hundreds of millions of years.
Right. And then it's also just like it's funny too because it's like they're Earth's protectors basically. Like these are Power Rangers. They're just like hundreds of feet tall.
Yeah. It's all so silly, but it's like the Earth's protector, but also like there could be only one.
Yeah, but
there just happens to be 12 of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because like how many of them were there in King of Monsters? And of course, they were all in harmony until the big one showed up. What was his name?
King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then there was like Mothra, who was like an alien, right? Because they even say that she came from space.
Well, no, I thought it was Ghidorah that came from space because he was the one that broke the harmony by coming from space.
Oh, he did, but I thought Mothra was from space too.
Oh no, I thought Mothra was like the mother and Godzilla was like the father.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. It's been a while since I actually watched King of Monsters.
Yeah, I know. I bet my son would have been able to tell us the whole plot.
Probably.
Actually, probably not. He only pays attention to the fight parts.
Well,
Let's be
you know
honest.
what? Let's also be honest though. That's what everybody else is there for. Like
Yeah.
the plot doesn't matter a whole lot as long as King Kong gets to fight Godzilla and there's an awesome couple fight scenes, then that's all that really matters.
Yeah. So are you ready for the part where Godzilla rips one of his back fins off and then shapes it into an axe?
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about how that's actually gonna go, but at the same time, I'm like, that sounds cool. I kind of do want to see that.
Both are true simultaneously.
Right? Like, that sounds really lame and cheesy, but cool at the same time. I want to see it happen.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want King Kong to have an axe?
Yeah.
Battle axe.
Here's the real thing though. Do you think in this movie, or will we get a sequel? And do you think, are we going to actually join forces at the end to fight some other entity?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That's kind of my guess too.
And of course, it'll be somehow caused by the people, like every
Right.
catastrophe.
Yeah.
If you just let Mother Nature win.
Yeah, right. Maybe this is where we'll see Mecha Godzilla, but Mecha Godzilla will be bad and it'll go out of control. It'll basically be like the Godzilla of Ultron. The Godzilla form of Ultron.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out in just a few days, and we'll talk about it in our next 20 or turning out.
Hell yeah, we will. Oh, I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited.
Heck to the year.
Like, honestly, if they made another Pacific Rim, I'd go see it too.
Yeah. I mean, how fast did you binge that show?
It was like day one, dude. Day one, day two, maybe. Now, to be fair, it was not a very long.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was alright.
That's what I was surprised about with Invincible.
Uh-huh.
They're 43-minute episodes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. They're like legit, and there's already 3 of them, and I don't know how many more are planned. But yeah. It's not like they're like 22, 23 minute. They're like full 43-minute episodes.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I've been a little bit annoyed with some of this things that have come to streaming services. The series length or the season length, I guess I should say, have sometimes been like 6 to 8 episodes, and you're just like, well, what was that? Like,
yeah, I don't mind 6 to 8 hour-long episodes or 45-minute long episodes, but when it's like a 20-minute show and I only get 8 episodes, that's what 2.5 hours.
160 minutes, yeah.
2 hours, yeah. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, I agree. It's not enough.
It's basically a feature-length film. Like you just made me watch a feature-length film chopped in 8 pieces.
Yeah, and then if you think about it too, it's even shorter usually, right? Because that's also taking into account like the credits and the opening scenes and everything.
Yeah, no, not cool. Not cool, you little tricky tricksters.
I will say that all of the streaming services that do the like skip intro on episodes, oh, you're golden peaches, every one of you who let us do that.
Special spot in heaven for you.
Now, the one thing that I'll admit is gonna sound a little bit first world problem-y, but like I like that Netflix sometimes just automatically skips them, and you actually have to click like don't skip the intro sometimes. And I wish more would do it like that too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, if I'm laying down or whatever, and again, I know, first world problems, whatever. Yeah. But I'm laying down and my remote is on the coffee table or something. Well, now I have to sit up and grab it to sit and not just lie there and enjoy myself.
Yeah. So here is my 2 cents. Anything that is made for streaming should not have a skippable intro, because they should know, as a streaming service, the type of introduction your show should have
Mhm.
as a streaming service. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
it
I
shouldn't
agree.
be one that needs to be skipped.
Yes. Like, obviously, first episode, sure, have the intro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. Having them in every single episode.
And then, like, it could still be there. It just needs to be in a format that you don't want to skip or doesn't need skip. Like,
Yeah.
Like half the time I don't skip the community intro because it's not always the full intro. It'll be just like one little snippet, you know. So like I said, you know, they should just break it up and break up the format so it's not something that you want to or need to skip. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but you know, and you know, usually, if we're being honest, it tends to be anime.
Yeah.
But like sometimes the intro is like a solid minute and a half or 2 minutes, and it's like, yeah, you watch it once and it's fine. Maybe if you haven't seen it in a while, you watch it again, sure. But it's just like, shit, this is a long intro.
The intro is a full fucking song.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, anime end credits are like an art form in and of themselves. They're so funny.
Yeah, well, even the opening credits.
Huh?
Even the opening credits are pretty all over the place, depending on the show that we're watching.
Yeah, I love how like most anime doesn't take itself super seriously.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end credits, and it's like all these moody stills, and it's like the most emo Japan pop.
A cherry blossom floating on some water.
Yeah, and it's like, and I will die before I see you again.
Yeah.
Because the years are long.
Right.
And it's
that's
just like
true.
the most emo stuff you've ever seen, but it's literally like 10 seconds after you just saw like the main character land on their balls or something, you know? Like,
yeah, right, yeah.
It's just like, what?
No, that's true.
I was not prepared to like feel these feelings after that.
Yeah.
Fucking anime. I love it. Oh man, did you see that like the new Studio Ghibli is getting some shit?
Oh, the which one?
Yeah, the I don't remember what it's called.
Earwig and the Witch or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, it's getting some shit. They're saying that the animation is like real bad.
Well, it was just kind of weird. I don't know if I would say it was bad or not, but it was just different.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying what I was told, what I heard,
yeah.
what
I don't know. I watched it. I liked it well enough. It was a little short, I thought.
Yeah. Did it feel like a Studio Ghibli film?
In some senses, it did. The only real issue I had kind of with it, though, is like the main character was kind of bratty like the whole way through.
Yeah.
And I feel like in their movies usually like that's not the way they usually portray their characters.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So that felt
they
a little.
They usually do get better. Yeah.
Yeah, or like they learn some lesson, or yeah, they act bratty, but on the inside they're really this emotional wreck because of whatever personal struggles.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And this was just like, she's just kind of a mean little girl.
Yeah. Well, I guess that kind of tells you like if it was worth tuning into, and the fact that you watched it and didn't even feel the need to mention it on the podcast.
Oh, well, yeah, fair point.
You know, we're about an hour and 15 minutes. We should probably head to the outro. Next week is the next Apocalypse Monthly. Yeah. Where we will be watching Day of the Dead. And we'll be continuing Fate of the Dead.
Ooh.
See if you survive another session or not.
Can I just say, too, I can't believe I have for so long.
Hey, you're getting a little arrogant there. It's only been 3 sessions.
Yeah,
Or no, it's
no,
only been 2 sessions.
It's only been 2 sessions. I'm just saying I can't. I thought I would be. That would have been it by now.
Yeah,
Especially the way I was rolling.
You keep narrowly sliding out of them choppers.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Which I have to imagine would be similar to how surviving a real zombie apocalypse would probably have to go.
I mean, you know, in a real zombie apocalypse, here the thing.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is buy some like blacksmith aprons. Really, like that's thick enough leather that a human can't bite through it. So
that's true.
So like a human would literally like rip out their teeth trying to bite through that. So like,
yeah.
all you got to do is that, and then just make sure like you're not torn limb from limb. But you know, it's not gonna be like one of those stupid situations where you're like, oh, I was walking and then this zombie was on the ground and I didn't see it and it bit my ankle. You know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those are the deaths that always piss me off. I'm like, really? None of you motherfuckers. You've been like The Walking Dead pisses me off because they always do this shit. It's like none of you motherfuckers have found any leather or even like some like aluminum plating that you could put, because like aluminum's pretty light, and guess what? A human can't bite through like aluminum plating.
You know what else I always love though? Just I know we're doing the outro and we're getting off topic, but still be. I always love though how like there's always that one character in the zombie movies who gets pulled into the crowd and all of a sudden their insides are made of cake and funfetti and stuff, and like they're just being torn apart like they're made out of butter and not like flesh and bone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's because there's like 40 hands tearing at him, man.
I guess, but it always just seemed like
Play-Doh, the more hands that are touching you.
I guess, just always seemed like, man, those fingers are either real strong or real sharp.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. It's pretty wild how that happens, but you know what? It's what the zombie genre is made for: ripping intestines. That's true. Yeah. So that's what we're doing next month or next week. Please email us at imaginaryramblings@gmail.com. Tweet at us at podcastir. Facebook and Instagram are at imaginaryramblings. You can rate and review us so that more people will listen to us and they can feel the love of 1,000 suns inside of their buttholes. Lastly, go head over to TeePublic and buy our merch.
Please.
And with all of that said, all I have left to say is bye-bye.
Bye. Hell yeah. Uh-oh. What's weird? What? Oh, weird. Uh-huh. Oh no. Oh. I was thinking of Shaun of the Dead, and I know obviously that was a parody, but like when one of those guys gets like torn into. That was lovely.